Hello, everybody. It's your boy D. Lamar. We're back with the third episode of Hold the Throne, and tonight we have another very special guest. Wow. Let's just say this is the person that ultimately put me in the game. So, I mean, without further ado, we're gonna bring on PiP. Let's get it. If you know me, you probably already heard all about him, but here we go.
What's up, young man?
Hey.
What's happening?
Hey, it's glad to talk to you again.
Yes,
We always bounce back and get back to chatting and talking and everything. So I've been obviously seeing you back on the grind and doing your thing, with the pictures, and you just told me you had a really nice sponsor. That was actually a shock at the last second, right before we went live.
Boom. Shameless plug. Plug right here.
Shameless all the plugs. No. Plug all the shameless plugs. But no, like it is really good to talk to you. So, just jumping right in,
Sure.
I want you to, kind of give a quick, introduction of yourself real quick. I probably won't be able to even do you justice. So go ahead and everybody know who you are right now.
All right. Well, my name is PiP. I'm from the Bay Area. I've been involved in the music industry for a long time. Grew up in the 90s. I met you 1999, I think, 98, somewhere there.
98, 99, yep.
Yeah, I met you then. Been involved in the radio stations, in KMEL in the Bay Area. Was under the wing of Big Von. He's like one of the top 10 DJs in the country now. He was actually part of the DJ crew, and we all grew up together. That's my brother. You know what I mean? So we all still stay in contact. Same DJ crews. Started a little mini record label, independent label. That's where we found you. We held an audition. You came through. I want to say I forgot the name of the record store, but it was a record store.
It was Sam Goody.
Sam Goody, yeah. The manager there was kind enough to be like, yeah, you can hold auditions here, in exchange for we'll promote the record store, in which they allowed us. And you showed up, and I was like, yo, this guy got vocals. Put him on, so put you on. And then the label, it was hard, like doing things by yourself is hard, so it was up and down. We put out, I think, two albums. You were on it. At the time, it was CDs. We're pushing it ourselves, pushing it out the trunk. We got it played on the radio maybe one time. You know what I mean? So, and that was through connections, networking. So, but I've been in the game for a minute, and then just got into photography about 10 years ago. Been doing that. So, but I'm still in the music industry in the background. I've done some ghostwriting for some people, and for legal reasons, I can't say for who.
Right.
But I got some little royalty checks that come in because of it. So nice. I don't mind that. Yeah.
It's funny you say that. I need I'm gonna keep it on script, but I definitely need a royalty check from some artists too. That not that you.
I'll bet
you. We did our thing, but no, for real. Like I know a lot of people don't really know, So I would just start this off by saying rest in peace to the Jacka, because after you you hadn't stopped doing music, but we had kind of lost contact, and we wasn't touch as much. And so another Rob, I hooked up with another Rob Lowe.
Oh yeah. I know. Yeah.
Same kind of reaction that you had. This dude can sing, so let's put him on. But I mean, I'm actually really proud of this. Like, I did get on one. I got on one of the Jacka's albums, and I didn't even know. The funny thing about it is I got in the studio, did kind of like an outro kind of hook thing or whatever on one of his albums. And then one day, I forgot about it. I was working on other stuff with them. I mean, with just Rob Lowe. My brother pulls up to the house, and then I don't think I ever told you a story, but my brother pulls up to the house, and he's just like, you need to tell my girl that you own this Jacka song. I was like, which one?
Right.
I can't remember the name of the song, and it was years, everything, right? And so then she was like, nah, he was like, you on the end of this one song. It was actually called it was the Won't Break Me song or whatever. Super clean beat, everything, and I had totally forgot about it. And so he was like, yeah, she was like, my favorite part of the song is when this dude come on at the end and start singing.
That's
and
you.
He was like, that's my brother. And like, no, it's not, or whatever. And then so he let me. I was like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Like, shoot, man, I don't even know the record label or nothing, but let me get a little piece of that money. But anyway, rest in peace to the Jack. Definitely a Bay Area legend or whatever. Every time I saw him in the club, it was always, like love or whatever.
For sure. I actually just touching on that. I actually got some old tracks of him and a couple of the mob figures. That's on a 4-track tape.
Wow.
Yeah. That's on a 4-track tape. That's all unreleased from beats I was making on the MPC.
Yeah.
And I have those like unreleased tracks.
Wow. So, because he's from Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's from there, but that's where they were made.
He's from Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and that's what that brings me back to when I first got into the studio with you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what was it called? The DAT tapes?
The DAT tapes. Yep. I still got those. I still got those tapes, man. I still got your vocals. I can still track you out. Hey, I can still track you out and put you in a whole nother beat if I wanted to.
Hey, you can do that anytime. Like that stuff was like back then. I didn't understand what was going on. That's why I was like, let me just go in the booth.
Right, get in the booth.
But I remember it was one thing that you actually taught me about, writing, and I still do it to this day. Is and it's so simple, just cutting out words. Or like shortening them, even you know what I'm saying, to edit to make it fit. And I still do that to this day. I actually forget to do it, and I'm like, oh shoot, let me go back and do it. So another, thank you for that once again.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, that's a little history, just so y'all know it's real. PiP found me, way back in like we said, like 98, 99. I auditioned for him, right, and I was nervous.
Yeah, it was an open audition in front of everybody. So we had a table set up, right? Yeah. And then we gave you guys clipboards and papers. You guys filled out your info, and as you walked through, we interviewed you right at the table.
Yep.
And then we were like, "Oh, you're a singer? All right, sing something right now." And then you were like, "Right now?" I was like, "Yeah, sing whatever." I don't remember what you sang, but I know that I was like, "Yo, this dude got vocals." And then me and who was I with? I forgot who I was with. I want to say it's because man, I don't know who I was with. But anyway, me and other person I was with, I remember we put a star on your put a star on your paper, and I was just like, we're for sure gonna hit this dude up. You know what I mean? So
much appreciated, because that definitely gave me like the confidence to like do it more. I was in 12th grade.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So that I was like, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
That like I was just like, that's it. Like I'm doing that. But
right.
But okay, so let's get back, to some questions, some quick questions. So what actually motivated you to get into, like the music business from the beginning?
Well, back in the day, growing up in the 90s, I started DJing when I was, I want to say 13 years old, 13, 14, 15, and I really honed in on DJing when I was 15. Like I don't want to toot my own horn, but I was pretty good, like with scratching and stuff like that. Like that's a skill back in the day that not everybody could do, and then for me to be able to do that, scratching, was almost like, whoa, look at this little, young cat who know how to scratch. And then Vaughn at the time, they're 2 years older than me. So, at the time they were their senior year, they were DJing all the parties. I was coming with them. By the time I was a senior in high school, he was already at the radio station.
Okay.
Right. And then to be honest, I would cut school. He would pick me up at lunch in the promotion van, and we would drive around, hand out free CDs, stickers, all that stuff. He would take me to the radio station. I would meet all sorts of people. I was able to meet Aaliyah. I met Aaliyah 3 months. Yeah, right through your shirt. I met her 3 months before her passing, dude. And it was like, I cried when I found out she passed away, because meeting her, she was like a genuine person. You know what I mean? Like she hugged real tight. You know what I'm saying? Like she was genuine. Like there was no Hollywood about her. You know what I'm saying? Like you would sit and talk to her the way me and you are sitting and talking, So she was really it was sad when she was gone. But back to the topic. So
it's good.
I was really embedded in the industry based on what I was seeing behind the scenes. Like Vaughn would take me to these concerts, and everybody's like, "Oh, you going to the concert? Oh man, that's cool." And I'm like, "No, It's not cool. We backstage. You can't even really talk to nobody. Yeah. Everybody's going this way, that way, this way. You know, you can't even see the show. You see the back of their heads. You're on the side. You know, they think it's all like glitz and glamour Hollywood, like what it is on TV. It's not. It's horrible. It's horrible backstage. It's horrible backstage. Yeah. So, you know, being in the music industry that way allowed me to see what was behind the velvet rope. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I see the business. I see how it goes. Yes. I see that these are the people you got to connect with. You know, these are your handlers. These are your, you know, PR people. All right, I got it. And that's where I learned how to do, you know, network. You know what I mean? Like really like networking with people, connecting with people. Nice. And then the DJ part of it was just cool because I like to DJ and I like people having fun and I like to feel like it's because of me they're having fun. I'm spinning the right records. I'm keeping control of the dance floor. I keep the party going. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what got me in the business. And then I got to the point where I want to make my own music. You know, I want people to dance to my own stuff. Right. And that's when I would like save my money from the DJ gigs and get this equipment on top of this equipment and this equipment. And it just all piled up. So I was like, okay, I got my studio. Let's make something happen.
And you did. Like, man, like I remember that first album, the 1134.
Yeah, 1134.
I'm gonna throw it out there. Like I remember like the beats on that thing, like it was the party song. Remember that one? Yeah. I think it was called Party.
Yeah, it's called Party. But yes. Yeah. It's a party.
And then I think it was your cousin. I don't know if he made the beat or he just rapped on it, but it was that Blair. Y'all sampled the Blair Witch.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my gosh! Like
I sampled that. So hard. Yeah, I made that beat. Yeah.
You see, that's what I'm talking about. And like the sample was just like perfect. And like again, that's what made me know that like I was in like real good company as far as like the music. And like I remember again, I was in high school, so I remember just like you were saying, you used to get drove around in the cars and stuff like that, whatever. I remember you used to drop me off. You used to be mad late, but we were always, and I still do this to this day, listen to the track, like, over and over, and you gotta hear it in speakers, you know. Speakers. So
I remember.
Yes, and it was just like wow, like
and the thing is like if you pop that in now, like some of the songs on that album, not all, but some of the songs on that album. See, though, I'm not saying it just because we made it. Even if someone else made it and then I listened to it, it would still hold till this day because the reason why I feel like we didn't jump off was because we were ahead of our time. You know, we were doing things that other people weren't doing that was out at that time.
Yeah.
The way we were making songs, the beats that we produced, you know what I mean? It didn't sound like everyone else's.
No, it didn't.
And we didn't have what we have now. There was no Instagram, sir.
Nope.
There was no TikTok, sir.
Nope. We didn't even have MySpace.
No, sir. It
Not
was
until
all
like a few years later.
Right. I was on Yahoo Chat promoting our stuff. Right. Oh, please, you know, here, check this out. I had to like build like my, you know, little site on Geo Sites or whatever it was.
Yeah.
You know, and then like, we didn't have none of that stuff. Yeah. So, but then people like in our own city was digging the music. You know what I mean? But as far as like reaching a more mass crowd, very, very difficult to do without what they have now. You know what I'm saying?
100%. I mean, we actually went to the mall and passed out CDs. Not passed out. We sold them. I remember saying that same thing about singing in front of people. Like it was a group of girls, and you know what I'm saying? Sing for them. Just they'll buy it. Sing. I think they bought like 2 copies, and I was like, great. Like, music is actually paid, you know what I'm saying? Time. So I remember it was definitely a grind. And I mean, I can even admit myself, I didn't even stick with it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted it, but it was way harder than, you know, people can think. Like the music business, and I learned this a few years ago, it's actually should be called the business music because that's what comes first.
It's business.
Fun and games, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Ever to get through. I mean, get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so. It's not for everyone. Like you gotta have the hustle in you. There's a lot of lonely nights. There's a lot of, you know, really saying who's on your team and who's for you, who's against you, who's, you know, only with you when it's good and who's with you all the way, you know. And even when I started to build our own street team, remember that? Like I held a little dinner at a Chinese restaurant and I was like, yo, this is our squad. This is, you know, 6 of y'all. We're gonna try to push, you know, the album. And then you know, that was all my own money. I had to do that. You know what I mean? I had to do that with all my own money because I believed in that so much.
Yeah.
And it was cool, but again, we didn't have the tools that they have now. It's really a hard grind because, you know, I still had bills to pay, you know, things like that. But I would say it's a labor of love.
Yes.
You have to love it, because if you don't, then you're not in it for the right reasons, you know, because
That's true.
I wasn't in it for the money. I was in it because I had something in me that I wanted to get out. I wanted to make music. That was it, you know.
And that's where I'm at. That's where I've been, you know, because again, like this show was about, you know, why I haven't popped off yet myself. You know what I'm saying? But it just really became a love for the music. Like when you're younger and you see the glitz and the glamour of everything, you do kind of feel like, well, of course I love music.
Yeah.
But also I can make money off of it.
Yeah.
And so I did have the huge dream to make it as a big star. You know what I mean? But after a while, you know, like you said, you know, you have to have a job, you know, you have to work, still got to get money, still got to pay bills and stuff like that. Yeah. And so like I had actually, you know, ended up working with I think it was Akbar Records is what they were on. Everybody.
I'm familiar with them.
Yeah, that's who I was messing with for a minute, and I regret this to this day too. It was one night when I thought I was cool and comfortable. And this is just a lesson too for everybody, you know, for the young people, you know, that kind of think you could just move any kind of way you want or whatever. So they had asked me to come to the studio one night, but I was out hanging out with my friends. And so I was just like, okay, yeah, I might be there a little later. Yeah. And so I got off the phone, and then my brother was just like, don't ever turn down. It was my god brother, actually. He was like, don't ever turn down like a studio session. Like, you never know when you know they're gonna call you again. You don't know. You know what I mean? And I was like, we working. I was like, you know, we working. Like they'll call me again. Like I'm doing music with the artist and everything. Right. I never got another call.
Dude, let me tell you right now. I have done that with people. Like they've come to the lab, they recorded the track, 2, 3, 4 tracks. They think it's good. You know what I mean? I call them one time. I say, hey, I need you on this vocal. Yeah. You may be able to make it. And then, you know, and literally I'm like seeing them on their story not doing nothing. Right. And then they're just like, nah, I can't make it right now. Right. And I'm just like, all right. So I put someone else on that song. Yeah. And then they hit me the next day, like, how you gonna put somebody else on the song? I said, you weren't available.
Yeah. Easy.
I have no obligation to you. You know what I mean? I asked you first. You said you're busy. Yep. So I'm gonna get somebody else who's ready.
I'm gonna
get someone who wants to do it. I'm not about to chase you. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like, and don't get mad if that song hits, that you could have been on it, because you could have been on it.
Exactly.
You know, and then and it's not saying in a way that I don't appreciate that person, but it's like, you know, a lot of them are green and don't have the opportunity, because trust me, man, I've had artists who come to work with me and then they go to another lab and be like, dang, man, I don't like working with them because they don't critique me. They're just all yes, it's fire. Yep. Record the song, get out, right? Yep. With me, I'm gonna sit there and be like, nah, do it again. You know me.
Oh, I know.
I'm like, no, do it again. It don't sound right. Over and over. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm a producer. I produce. You know, I'm not just gonna sit there. I'm not a recording engineer. I'm not just gonna sit there and let you record. Yeah. You know, because
on one of your beats.
Exactly. I'm not about to make
like, all right, that was good, and it's not.
Yeah, all right. I'm not about to make you sound bad on my beat. You know, you have to compliment my beat. Right. And you have to make my beat sound good, and my beat's gonna make you sound good, and it's gonna be a good record. Right. You know, so a lot of them, you know, thinking, oh yeah, I got bars, I can go to anybody else and this and that and this and that. But they don't understand the chemistry. The music happens when the magic happens, when the chemistry between the talent and the producer is blended. When you're on the same wavelength and you're on the same page, the song works. Yeah. You know, so
that's 100% true. And I mean, that's why I had to, you know, like share that, you know, because you know, it was a real thing. You know, that's what really happened. You know, it was just like, I think, and the only cool thing about it is they had sent me like 2 beats or whatever that I had kind of had, and I could do kind of like whatever I wanted to do with it. So I did, you know, end up making music with them, and I ended up dropping it literally just recently, like maybe like a year and a half ago. Because
Wow.
it was just like stuff that I would just share with friends, you know what I'm saying? Because they didn't push it, you know, after that, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna sit here and say like I think that was the complete reason. Who knows the full reason? But I'll never forget that night. And who knows, that could have been the reason. But you know, like you said, you know, you got to be on it. So, and I wasn't that night. But you know, but okay. So let me know. So you recently jumped back in, because I remember we had a conversation like a few years ago. And I don't want to bust you out, but you was like, nope, I don't do music no more.
Dude, I was done. I sold all my equipment. Let me tell you.
You sold me a hard drive.
Yeah, I sold you a hard drive with all my music. My whole DJ library. It was like 3,000 songs or something like that. I sold that. I sold 2 MPCs. I sold the Triton keyboard. I sold the Motif. I sold everything but my records. But I sold everything, the techniques, everything, bro. I sold everything because I felt like the frustration, right? I felt like, man, everybody's listening to garbage. What I'm doing, producing, working my ass off in the lab, hella late at night, making music like this. Ain't nobody even vibing with my shit. You know, excuse my language, but you know, ain't nobody vibing. You know, I'm like, whatever. I have like a little bit of people that follow me that like my stuff, but then and then also I feel resentment because I feel like, okay, are they obligated to like it because they know me forever, you know? But then I said, you know what? I'm gonna just come anew. I'm gonna just make it. I'm gonna call it Sweet Beats. You know, I'll still attach my name to it, but I'm gonna market it in different areas. I'm gonna hit different demographics. I'm gonna hit it in the West Coast. I'm gonna hit it in the South, and you know, I'm gonna stay away from the Bay because for some reason or another, Bay people like to hold each other down. And when I say hold each other down, not in a good way. I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling the truth. They be like, oh, ain't no love in the Bay. In the Bay, they don't love you until you big. And that's the truth. They're not gonna ride with you, you know, from the beginning. They're gonna wait till you're something big, and then they'll ride you. You know, but like right now, no. I mean, maybe it's the same for other places. You know, that's why when they say, oh, the water's better over there, the water's better on the other side.
Yeah.
It sometimes is.
It sometimes is.
You know what I mean? So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just make music the way I want to make music. And then I started to look at it in a whole nother way. A true artist, you know, will do it because they want to do it, because they feel it inside them, because it's the love that they have. They don't do it for the crowd. They don't do it for the audience. They do it because there's something inside them that they need to get out. Right. And then I started thinking, okay, who's legendary, right? You know, Prince is legendary. And then you think Prince cared about what people said about him wearing them heels and, you know, ass out jeans? You know what I'm saying? You think he cared? No. This dude made song after song after song, catalogs, and they say that he has a vault full of songs that we have never heard. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna just keep making beats. I'm gonna make songs that I want to make. If people like it, cool. If they don't like it, that's cool too. I didn't make it for them anyway. I'm making it for me and for people that feel me, the people that vibe with me. Because a true fan will stick with you no matter what, what changes you make, no matter what music genre you go to, whatever. They're gonna support your change. They're gonna support your transition. Because who wants to stay the same? You know what I mean?
You completely right. Like, just to tap like on everything you said, like, you know, for me, I ran into the same thing where, and that's again one of the reasons why I wanted to start this show, is because I realized like I'm making, you know, quality compositions. You know what I mean? Like, it's no longer, you know, just me. Because I set up a studio a few years ago too, and you know, I didn't know what I was doing. But I started paying to go to the studio. I started paying to get actual beats. It was no longer you just throwing me some beats or them throwing me beats. It was like, I'm paying for this and I can say I want this. And it still, you know, didn't work. But the difference was I was loving it. Like I was grooving to it. I was dancing to it. I was like sending it everywhere. And my project that I came out with, I was completely happy with. And like, it was kind of like, I don't want to say it was solidified, but when I started listening to Childish Gambino, you know, Donald Glover or whatever,
Yeah.
I remember him on a interview, and he was just like, you know, you have to make music that you like.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
Like, that's what I was doing, and that's what I continue to do. So, you know, it's like, trust me, I feel you completely on that. So I'm glad you got back into it and had that revelation to be like, you know what, they don't have to like me. I like me.
Yeah.
And I'm a continue to rock. And that's what I've been doing. Like my engineer that I was that I normally go to, people probably tired of me telling this story, but I had he basically had told me he was busy. Or he was taking a break. He didn't say he was busy. He said he was taking a break for a few weeks. And I had the itch. Like I had the itch.
Yeah, man.
I don't want to wait 2 weeks. And I also don't want to pay a bunch of money to go to the studio either.
Right.
I was like, you know what? Let me try this by myself. You know what I mean? So I, bought a little, home studio kit, a few $100s, got speakers, bought a, microphone, everything. And I just started doing it again by myself. I had done 2 songs with him in, I think, November. And then I'm in album mode. So I was like, I can't slow down, but he's amazing. Yeah. And I got 2 songs that I know only he can, engineer.
I
don't get that money, but the ones in between, I had to do it myself.
Yeah.
And as like you said, as a true artist, you're going to continue to do it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to continue to do it no matter what happens. Nothing can really stop you. Yeah. And if you're a true fan, they're going to rock with you. And I don't know any of my fans personally. You know what I'm saying? I might, get I love that song you did here and there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because one of my songs plays all the time in Poland.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
I'm like, fantastic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shout out to Poland all day long.
Right.
Like I'll take them wherever they are.
Hey, let me tell you something, man.
Yeah.
I'm at work and I'm talking about, I produced this album, I did this album. I punched it into Google, an album I produced after the 1134 album. I punched it 1134 Hotness, right? It came up. I was like, what? And then it's called the something about underground rappers. Yeah. It came up and they could buy my songs. And I'm like, wait a second. Hold on, man. I need the royalties from this. And it's been downloaded so many times, right? And I'm just like, hold up. Someone's making money off my music, you know what I mean? So it's like I'm not mad at it, but at the same time, it's like you see the business side of it. Like if you don't protect your music, someone's gonna make money off of it. Yep. You know what I mean? And there was no protection at that time. I'm like, how did they even get it?
Yeah.
How did they even get this album? Who? How?
I mean, even you told me about the again, like the ghetto way to
Poor Man's Copyright.
Yes, the Poor Man's Copyright. I still got that in my FedEx.
Do you really?
I still got it. A FedEx with a bunch of lyrics in it.
Yeah, do you really?
Obviously, I haven't done that since.
Yeah.
I went through, different publishing companies and stuff, but I still have it, and I look at it like, can I open it now?
That's funny, man.
I'm like, it's been years now, but it's just crazy, dude. Like. So again, I'm just saying that to say, like, I definitely learned a lot from you back then. I definitely soaked up as much as I could when I was in those sessions. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The ad libs, everything. I think part of me gets hard headed where I want to do it my way, but thing is, I always come back and be like, nah.
Yeah.
Do it the way you were taught. You know what I'm saying? You'll have time to create your own tactics and techniques, but for the most part, you really did get me in the studio, and I'm still appreciative of that.
What I saw in you was like I saw a hunger in you, the bravery of how you took on music. You know what I'm saying? Like you hit it straight on, and if somebody was in your way, they was gonna get cut. And you have to approach music that way.
Yes.
The battle between yourself and your ego is always ongoing, because you say to yourself, what are the good people gonna think? But then you fight yourself and you be like, I'm just gonna push it the way I know how, and I'm gonna do it the way I know how. I remember the one song, what was it? I think it's called Nightmares. You had a song called Nightmares or something?
Oh, Nightmare Wedding.
Yes. Woo! That was fire. You said that to me, and I was like, D. Lamar, the star. Let me hear this, you know. And then I was like, oh yes, that's the one. Like I was like, that's fire.
And that's what I'm talking about. Like you just said it. Like I'm not afraid to just do whatever I need to do.
Exactly.
Even the reason why that came about was I was back in the mode. I was like looking for beats online. Like, man, I need some new beats. I'm ready to work again. Yeah. My brother was like, just do a he's like, you need to do dubstep. And I was like, I didn't even know what dubstep was. Yeah. Honestly, I thought dubstep was reggae music. I don't know why the first thing that came to my mind, but I had no clue what it was. Yeah. So I go into this producer's webpage or whatever, and I type in dubstep. That came up, and I was like, oh shoot, I love this.
Yeah.
So, but the real thing about it, I knew it was going to be a challenge to write to something like that.
Yeah, that's why I liked it. I was like, one, it was different. Two, the way you got on the way you rode the beat with your vocals, I was like, he did that.
It was tough.
Yeah, I was like, he did that. That's a hit. That's what I kept thinking. I was like, that's a hit song. Like that needs to be pushed.
Same. And that's again why we're doing this show, because I was like, wait a second, this is a great song.
Yeah.
And it did hit.
Cause like I got a gang of songs, man. Yeah. I got a library full of songs, but when you get that one song that hits, and then you just be like, oh yeah, the kids will be singing this.
That's that's what my son and his younger cousin would just be running around the house singing that song, not even know what they're talking about. Right. And I'm just like, this is proof. This is evidence right here. Yeah. And again, that comes from, I think one of the reasons I think we can kind of tackle why a song like that doesn't hit, even though it was ahead of its time. It was ahead of its time. It was definitely ahead of its time. I believe that.
I've never heard nothing like it.
But people don't even sing on dubstep.
That's what I'm trying to
rap over dubstep.
That's why when I heard it, I was like, I've never heard nothing like this. That's when I said this is a hit.
Right.
I said the melody's right. The way you wrote the beat was right. It was right. And I was just like,
and
that's why I said, like as an artist, you have to keep making music because you make the music the way you want to make it that no one's have ever heard before.
Yeah.
And when they hear it, that there's something that they never heard before, two things will happen. They like it because it's different, or they won't because it's different.
Right.
You know what I mean? But either way, they can't hear it unless you put it out. So you have to let go of your ego, put it out, and
and that's my thing now is I don't even be having patience. Like anytime I do a song, I'm hitting up my TuneCore real quick, and I'm just like, boom, pay for it, put it out, just do it.
Yeah.
I don't, maybe I'll pay for it to stay on TuneCore for another year. Maybe I won't, but for now, put it out there, because that's another thing I don't get about artists, which maybe I should understand a little more. But nowadays people will just put out stuff on SoundCloud and not make money off of the music. And I always wondered, like, there's some talented kids. We may not listen to that music or whatever, but I wanted to start a company where I basically was a console to these kids, what I'm saying? Or just younger people or people that don't understand, you could be making money off the music. Once you get 1,000 plays on a SoundCloud page after a week, that's kind of big. You know what I mean? You should now be moving to bigger platforms, but maybe they're figuring it out now, hopefully. But for the most part, I'm putting my music out.
Let me just drop a name right now. This is my friend. Her name is Mickey Shiloh. If you ever get a chance to look her up, MickeyShiloh. Mickey Shiloh. She is so dope. She's in the 30 under 30 Forbes list. She tapped in, got her own record label, online record label, mind you, with like 6,000 artists, independent artists who are getting 98% of their royalties.
Yeah,
Mickey,
see this, but
she is fire. I've tapped in with her. We've ping pong back and forth with ideas. She's taking some of my ideas. She's giving me ideas. I mean, it's it's great when you connect with a mind that wants to grind as hard as yours.
Right.
I mean, and she grinds hard. I mean, there's a reason why she's on the 30 under 30 Forbes list.
Nice.
She pushes hard. So tap in with her. I mean, if you want to like get onto her record label, it's called Hard Drive, and it's all about online networking, pushing, promoting your song, all of that. You know, really, really low membership fee for her services too, man. And these are professional services. Minnie Shallow has written for, you know, Janet Jackson, Britney Spears. She's worked with Dark Child. She's you know, she's in the industry. You know what I mean? Yeah, she's and to have that network, I'm talking network. I got her direct line. You know what I mean? Like I can call her right now. You know what I mean? That type of thing. And for her to not get to be so Hollywood on me either. She's all big, still making this money, but then still remembers our conversations, still taps in. You know, that's a blessing to have to hold on to your roots. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's what's up. I mean, I definitely just followed her, so you know, I'm like really in that mode of like going harder than I ever have before. You know, we have jobs and stuff like that, but this pandemic has kind of put us, or at least me, I can only speak for myself right now, but I've been working from home. And for the first half or like first 6-7 months, I was chilling. Like, I was like, I'm doing my job. But 4:30 hit, it's time to get into bed, turn some music on, watch TV, you know, read a little bit, you know, like, and I wasn't doing no work. I wasn't writing. I wasn't doing little videos. I did like some silly TikTok videos because at the beginning of the pandemic. But I was like, I need to be writing. You know what I'm saying? So the second part of the pandemic so far is when I was just like, okay, it's you know, quit all the playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got your break. And now I'm like writing. Like I said, since November, I've dropped, I think 6 songs already. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm at it now. You know what I'm saying? So
no, that's good. The thing is, you know what it is? You know what it is, D? You fell in love with yourself again, man. Yeah. That's what it is. Like we often fall out of love with ourselves because we other things consume our time.
It's true.
The saying is true when they say when you pay attention to one thing, you tend to disregard the other things. Right. And those other things that used to be important to you, something has taken over that. You know, and then you fall in love. You fall out of love with yourself. And you know, for me, like I've been single for like 3 years now, and you know, I'm a single father. I raised my kid, you know, by myself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, a lot of my time consumed work and raising my kid, right? But I lost myself in that process. I was like, wait a minute, man, I'm not happy. But then when I started doing things that made me happy again, music, photography, things that I love to do.
Right.
I love to do.
Right.
I started like you, going hard. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna buy this, and I'm gonna do it the way I've always wanted to do it.
Right.
Push the way I want to do it. Make the music I want to do it. Reach out to people that want to push music like me. And if they don't want, I'm gonna put one foot in front of the other and find someone who wants to rock with me.
Right.
You know, like I have 0.0 time to waste on anyone that doesn't want to travel this road with me. You know,
no, I'm with you 100%. And that's what you said is exactly right. I really did have to go back into myself and start doing the stuff that, you know, like I wanted to, because, you know, like I said, my son was here for most of the time, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause you know, again, he not going to school, you know, I mean, you know, here homeschool, but, you know, he didn't have to, you know, only come on weekends or split the week or nothing like that. So he was here, and it was just like, oh, hey, again, you know.
Hey.
You know, like, you can stay here, like, we can rock. And I mean, we was watching movies, you know, ordering DoorDash all day, mad money on food and groceries. And like, both of us, because, you know, then summer came. So it really wasn't no work. You know what I mean?
Right.
Chilling out here. But yeah, you're right. I jumped right back in and was like, I got to do this. You know, I tried to learn how to play. Well, I'm still learning, but, you know, try to learn how to play, you know, keyboard, piano, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Learning how to do the engineering. Like, I don't want to learn how to like master, but, you know, I've been sending my stuff off to get mastered and everything. So it's like I got a drum set. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, let me tell you one thing that I learned about trying to do something for yourself. You can't. Okay, you can't. And I always tell this to people that come to me and ask me for advice. Like, hey, I try to do it by myself. It's so hard. Yeah, it is hard. Because guess what? Even Jesus had disciples, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
Even
real.
Jesus had disciples. Right there. So Jesus didn't do it by himself. He had to have a team to spread out. And unfortunately, like in real life, you got that one person that's not on your team, which was, metaphorically speaking, Judas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was trying to tell him, like, how you think you're gonna do it by yourself? Jesus can't do it by himself.
Yeah. No, that's real. And that's another thing that I learned too, was you have to have a team. But for me, building a team, to be honest, like I've tried it, you know what I'm saying? And I want to, you know what I'm saying? It's just like my team looks a little different because, like I said, my engineer's on one end, you know what I mean? The person that I make beats with is on another one. Like I get beats from a guy in the Ukraine, Russia, and like it's just a young dude that's just like hungry. He loved music too. You know, I'd be like, hey, what like I need this kind of beat. He hit me in a week, 2 weeks, and then we good to go. And I just hooked up with another guy from New York. And what's crazy is I found out about him just because he does cover songs, you know what I'm saying? Like he covers all the time, just the beats, I mean. And he did a song with one of my favorite bands, and so that's how I found him. And I was just like, man, like you did that, like that's what's up. Like let me, like let me see what you got, you know what I'm saying? And he was just like, man, I'll start sending you beats. Just started sending me beats, and it was on the 80s, like some 80s vibe. So I was like, oh shoot, now you done put me in a different lane again.
Yeah.
Challenge.
But see, you're doing the right thing. Like when you say your team is on different ends of the spectrum or whatever, you're doing the right thing. That's like the Bruce Lee thing. You don't take everything. You take what's useful for you, and then you apply it to yourself,
right?
Based on what works for you. And that's the Bruce Lee method. You know what I mean? Right. So you approach it that way. You'll have your own way.
Well, that's what it is, man. Like
you're doing it right. You're doing it right.
And I don't feel alone when I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, because I feel like I got these contacts and stuff like that that's really looking out for me. So, anyway, we've been going for a minute. I mean, what else? Like, so we kind of discussed on like what got you back into the music, but what else would you like to tell everybody else before we get up out of here? Like any more advice, stories, just
I would like I could talk for days, man. Especially with you. It's like we ain't connected.
I'm only looking at it because remember I told you how big the files be.
I'm saying like when we connect, it's like yesterday. It doesn't matter how long it's been since I've seen you. It's like yesterday. So I would say my advice to artists and musicians who are independently doing it by themselves. It's hard to do it by yourself, but you have to stay true to yourself. Don't try to live or don't try to put out music for other people. You have to do it for yourself.
Right.
Otherwise, you're gonna be miserable, man. You're gonna hate the stuff that you put out. It's false, and that's the worst thing you can do is lie to yourself. True. You wouldn't lie to anybody else. Why would you lie to yourself?
Right.
So you got to be true to yourself. And I have this saying that I say haters will hate because that's what they do. But if the love is real, it will always be true.
Amen.
It'll always be true. If the love is, you don't question love. It's just love. There's no, you don't have to defend it.
See, now you putting me in my, my podcast mode, because the podcast is about love and relationships. So we're going to have to link on that.
Man.
I know you got stories.
Oh man, do I ever.
And I got stuff that I know I probably should have been talking to you about while I was going through it. And, we could have been having these discussions and helping me out, get through some stuff. But, man, like it's been a while. Again, I'm glad, we're able to do this. Definitely keep sending me people because, this is new, but I really want to expand it. Still trying to think about the schedule and everything and how I want to do it. Yeah. I don't mind doing 2-3 a week. You know what I'm saying? If that's what, helps everybody's schedules and stuff like that. Yeah. Maybe eventually do it once a week once we get a little bigger. But you know, for real, like let's definitely do this again. Send your people my way. Like as you can see, this is very conversational. I just want to talk to people, get experiences, and we could do this again. You know what I'm saying? You could be a once a week special guest, give me updates. So
it's all good.
Like let them know what the Instagram is, even though it's like, you know, scrolling at the bottom
so,
and everything.
You know, the photography thing is heavy right now. What I'm on, you know, I have a team of models, brands and merchandisers send us stuff, and we take pictures of my models wearing their stuff. We're moving into filming mini movies also, including their merchandise in it. It's pretty good, man. We got a good solid team, and it's something different. It's something different that no one else is doing right now. Again, trying to be ahead of the game. Like what other place can you go to that'll take the pictures for you and have the models already? Do you know how much it costs to pay for two separate things? If you go through us, it's one price, and we work with your budget. So it don't matter if your budget is $20 or $2,000. We'll work with your budget. You send us $20, we'll give you a $20 budget photo shoot. But you know, but it'll be high quality.
Still gonna be high quality.
You'll think you paid $2,000. You know, but if you give us a $2,000 budget to shoot something, we'll give you a $2,000 photo shoot. You know, but it's great because we help up and coming designers, up and coming brands and then it gives us opportunities to partner up with people like, you know, like with Just Water. You know, I've shot stuff for Monster headphones. I've shot stuff for Kellogg's, for Kohl's, big brands and little brands. And it also gives the models opportunities to get exposure, you know, that they can actually put on their resume and say, I shot for a nationwide ad campaign.
That's what's up.
Man.
You hooked me up before, you know, just so everybody know this is the truth. Like I've done a great photo shoot with PiP as well. So again, back in the day, but you know, I was a little younger, a little thinner, you know, but you know, I still throw on some gear for a photo shoot. But okay, so we got Third Eye Focus, we got the what is it, Sweet Beat.
Oh yeah, Sweet Beat. So like you said, you saw that I started getting back into it. So at Sweet Beats, at Sweet like SUITE _ beats. That's where you can find my stuff. Let me see. SoundCloud, you can find me under DJ Mr. Pipster. My mixes are on there, my old mixes, as well as you know, songs that I've released just to release. That's on there too.
I'm trying to put that at the banner too at the bottom since we playing around right now.
Yeah, so Sweet I think _ beats.
_ beats, okay.
Yeah, Sweet _ beats. That's on there.
Okay.
Let me just shout out a couple people, man.
Go ahead, do your thing, man, because I want you to send this to them same people you shout out.
Oh yeah,
that's how we rock it.
Oh, of course. First, shout out to you. Appreciate you for putting me on and not forgetting about me after all these years. You know, really appreciate it. You know, putting the spotlight back on. Shout out to my dear friend Nessam. Her Instagram is Nessam. At NESS, like 4 S's. I don't know why she did it that way. NE 4 S's A and M. That's like my buddy, man. That's my rider right now, who really also sparked my my energy to create. You know, I was at a point where I was like, I'm done. I remember talking to her. I was like, I'm done with everything. And then she said, what? I said, yeah. I said, if it don't work out with you, like as far as like if we shoot and it don't work out and I don't feel any vibe, I'm done with everything. I'm selling my camera, everything. But I told her, I said, I'm serious. So we went on the shoot and we took pictures and then boom, next thing I know, I'm back at it again. You know what I mean? So all it takes, man, is that one spark to reignite the flame.
Got it.
Because thank you. Yeah. So shout out to Nessam and then you know, my friend Jonathan Bell, who I hope that you can connect with.
Oh yeah, I added him too.
He has a great story. Shout out to Mickey Shiloh. You know, she's a great mentor. And also shout out to my friend Chanel Jones. She's dope too. You need to follow her. She got a great story. She used to be like thugged out. Now she's all mommified. You know what I'm saying? all about the mommy life. She's like, I said, you the coolest hippie I know. You know what I mean? She's like, she's so earthy. You know what I mean? All in the books and all into, you know, being better for herself. And I know her history, you know, and for her to see where she's at now, I mean, I'm so proud of her. You know what I mean? Like, damn, that's a great woman. You know what I mean? Like, I love, like I told you, I love seeing people come up, you know, and just the whole human experience is an amazing thing, especially when you see someone who is resilient,
right,
you know, and embraces the change, because it takes courage to change.
It does,
and not a lot of people are brave. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They get too comfortable in their settings.
We definitely get knocked down. You know what I'm saying? And you know, a lot of times, and again, not to go there, but it's kind of like in my path or whatever you want to call it. I was definitely knocked down in a lot of different situations, but it was music and like the love of the arts period that I was able to work through it. Like now I just got something to write about.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
I got a story to tell. Yeah,
now I got a story to tell. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So a lot of times, and what's crazy is a lot of times people, they can't even understand that that positive attitude. They look at it like it's fake. You know what I'm saying? But the truth is, like, no, I just don't trip as much because I have love for other things, and I learn how to love from within anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I don't need it the same way I used to.
Hey, let me tell you, man, people, I mean, I was in a situation where I had to, I was gone for a while. Someone, people try to break me down. And then it's tough because the people that you thought that was for you turned against you.
Yeah.
And then you really find out in your rough times who's there for you. And then it's weird because like people I've known for years turn against me. And I'm like, what? And they think I'm this other person that I was painted in a negative light. You know what I mean? But then, the real one stuck by me. They know my heart.
Right.
God knows who I am.
Yep.
And that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And he's blessed me ever since. You know what I'm saying? He's just like, I give it, the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh.
Right.
Like I'll take everything from you. But okay, you learned your lesson. All right, here. You can have it all back. Right. And
I love it, man. Like that's another lesson. That's another lesson from PiP. Like, and I'm receiving it. And like I feel it because that's the same thing, that I went through. And what you might think like I'm never going to go through that again. It might happen again, but each time you get stronger. You know what I'm saying? That's like where I'm at now. Like I'm at to the point now where it's just like there's not really much that could break me.
Yeah, right. It's like what's next?
Because I could break me. I built everything by myself now.
Right.
Without the help of the ones who I thought were supposed to be there. You know what I mean? And that's definitely something that you learn over time. But
hey, D man, look, sometimes what happens to us happens for us.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I believe that.
Yeah. And only we can get through, what happens for us. And a lot of times, advice and things like that, we'll take it, we'll listen to it or whatever, but it's not until you actually want those changes, not until you want to actually, be better, and that's I want it better,
right.
Like, be better, just as simple as that. Speak it.
Right. Hey, we go through things because we go through them.
You got another one.
we don't stay in there. We don't dwell in there. We go here, right on through.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's why we go through it. And then it's good that you have the strong heart, the strong mind, the strong spiritual inner self.
Yeah.
Because you know yourself. You're like, man, I didn't get this far to get this far.
Yep.
I'm built. I'm not built. I'm not built weak. I'm stronger than this.
Exactly.
And a lot of that really does come from us having kids too. Because once you have kids, you ain't even living your life for you no more. You're living it for them.
I say it all the time. Like my son, and not like I was, going through anything that serious, but I mean, as serious as I'm about to make this sound, but like I say all the time, like my son saves my life every day.
Oh man.
And I mean it in the sense of like, sometimes you want to just be like, I don't care anymore.
Right.
Like,
right. But you're like, wait a second.
Kill myself, nothing crazy, nothing like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, do I really have to work this hard?
Yeah.
But now when you do have a kid that, and you're in love with that little human being,
you'll do anything.
Like, they make it hard for them, but also for for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's where it is. That's where it is with me. Like he does. I don't even think he gets it. You know what I mean?
Hey,
but
D man, the first example of who a man and what a man is to your kid is who you are.
Right.
You know, you're the superhero.
Amen. I mean, I see the way he look at me sometimes. He likes me.
He likes me. He likes me.
He likes me. We're good.
Right.
As long as I can get a random hug every once in a while, he comes up to me, then I think we good.
Hey man, I'm raising a 13-year-old girl.
Same.
And I'm still cool. So I must be doing something right.
Exactly. My son's 13 too. So wow.
You know.
Wow. See, that's a whole nother conversation. We could talk about how they do it in school and
oh yeah,
all of that, man.
Like single father life. That'll be a good conversation right there.
Right.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. Well, I think that's it. I mean, I'm happy with this. Like I'm gonna continue. I know you're gonna continue.
Yeah.
We definitely got to
keep doing it. I like the style of the show. You know, it's good. It's good.
It's open. It's me. You know me, and this is what I do. This is what I want to do. You know, I want to talk to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll end the feed, but you can still stay on if you want for a second. But I'm in the broadcast for the people out there or whatever.
All good.
Another episode of Hold the Throne with PiP. All right.